All right, welcome to Guaranteed News. So, after comments on Charlie Kirk's death, the Jimmy Kimmel Show has been discontinued indefinitely, according to an announcement released by Nexstar. We're going to look at what Jimmy Kimmel said. We're going to look at the announcement. Here's a picture of them together. This is from Variety. When was this posted? Yesterday or a couple days ago. So Jimmy Kimmel Live will be replaced Friday, which is today, by a Charlie Kirk tribute special on Sinclair's ABC affiliate stations. The company is demanding Kimmel apologize to Kirk's family and send a meaningful personal donation to them. And Turning Point USA, a meaningful personal donation. That is okay. The organization Kirk founded that advocates for conservative politics in high schools and colleges. That is what Turning Point USA is. Mr. Kimmel's remarks were inappropriate and deeply insensitive at a critical moment for our country. Sinclair's vice chairman Jason Smith said in a statement, "We believe broadcasters have a responsibility to educate and elevate respectful, constructive dialogue in our communities. We appreciate FCC Chairman Carr's remarks today, and this incident highlights the critical need for the FCC to make immediate regulatory action to address control over local broadcasters by big national networks." So not only did they cancel, and I've talked about this on when the whole other thing with Stephen Colbert, that I don't really watch late night, so I may get them mixed up. Jimmy Kimmel went on a show, made some comments about the Charlie Kirk assassination. I don't even think even a day later. I think they didn't even post or they did. Or did they? Did the episode actually come out? I don't believe it did. But same day, not even a day later, an announcement came out saying that they are going to indefinitely cancel the show. And there's questions on if the show will come back, okay? First thing, of course, we have to look at is what is it that Jimmy Kimmel said that was so insulting to Charlie Kirk, his family, to the situation that is happening right now. That is one of the biggest stories in the news cycle. And the story of itself, Charlie Kirk's passing, is one of the biggest stories, but also, well, we'll get to that. But conversations over free speech, conversations over who killed them. There's so many different conversations with this, but one of the big ones right now is the free speech conversation and all of the backlash people who are negatively talking about Charlie Kirk are getting. So let's look at what Jimmy Kimmel said, okay? Let's watch this. And this is, let me see, this was posted on the 17th. I think this would have been Wednesday. Let me look at a calendar really quickly. Yeah, Wednesday. The taping on Wednesday is when it was taped. I don't think the episode actually came out, and I think the reason we see it is because of social media. You're able to see anything, but I could be wrong about that. Remember, I don't watch late night television.
We hit some new lows.
And let's get this right. Hold on. Okay. So this is what he said.
Weekend with the MAGA gang. We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them, and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. Demolition, construction. This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish.
Okay. And let's read this from the person that posted it. Just so we're clear, this is the clip that got Jimmy Kimmel's show shelved by ABC. If I'm missing any other clips, please let me know. This is also what Jimmy Kimmel said the day that Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Instead of the angry finger pointing, can we just for one day agree that it is horrible and monstrous to shoot another human? On behalf of my family, we send love to the Kirks and all the children, parents, and innocents who fall victim to senseless gun violence. So that comment is what he said after Kirk's death. And this is what he said on Wednesday that got him shelved, got his show shelved. Okay. Now, this in and of itself, Kimmel's show being shelved has just added more fire to the backlash and just the shitstorm that has started with people who talk negatively about Charlie Kirk or the specifics on what's reasonable to talk about Charlie Kirk negatively, like kind of a conversation around what's considered hate speech and what not, and what is not. And from what they are saying, what Jimmy Kimmel said in that statement that we just played, from that clip that we just played, is not allowed at all. It's crossing the boundaries of what's allowed, what's hate speech, or what the Trump government is going to allow when you're speaking about Charlie Kirk and his assassination, okay? Now, this isn't just late night hosts. I mean, teachers, doctors, people with all types of professions have been getting fired, have been getting suspended for work without pay for a bunch of shit's been happening to people. Very real consequences have been happening to people because of their comments on Charlie Kirk. And this is even affecting people in my hometown of Indianapolis in Indiana. The Indy Star wrote an article about this. Let's read a little bit about that. Let's see. Can you guys see this? Really? Is it going to do that? Let me see. Let's see. Indy Star article kind of showing how people who are talking negatively about Charlie Kirk they're feeling it. No diddy. Indiana schools, universities face added pressure after Charlie Kirk assassination. Conservative leaders are calling for firing, and let me close this, firing of educators and soliciting reports of those who celebrate or rationalize the killing. Let me see this. Yeah, in Indiana, Indy Star has confirmed 3 school districts parted ways with teachers following their comments. However, a handful of schools and colleges stood by their employees' right to freedom of speech while under pressure from right-wing politicians and personalities. So just kind of do like a quick update of what's going on here. Charlie Kirk's assassination happened, and now there has been a flood of comments about it. And the Trump government, I mean, Attorney General Pam Bondi, Trump, everyone across the board that is in government right now with Trump, including the Attorney General of Indiana, Todd Rokita, are basically saying if you comment on Kirk's assassination negatively, you could get fired. You will lose your job. There will be consequences. And the question that is, I think a lot of people asking here is, what is that line now between what you're allowed to say and not to say about Charlie Kirk, and what is going to be the next thing that is added to this? Because again, this is a free speech conversation. I also want to just see, kind of just to give a sense of like, people are really being fired. They're really looking for people talking about negatively of Charlie Kirk. This is from the Attorney General of Indiana, Todd Rokita. Thanks to everyone who submitted evidence of Indiana educators or school administrators making or sharing comments glorifying the assassination of Kirk. Several examples are now live on our Eyes on Education portal, including this one from a Spanish professor at Franklin College. Voice your concerns to the university using the contact information below. So he's encouraging people to go at this Spanish professor at Franklin College, go to the president, Carrie Prather, office of the president, call them and let them know. He's encouraging people to say, if you see someone speaking negatively about Charlie Kirk, go out and reach out to the people that employ this person. And this is the Attorney General, the highest ranking lawyer in Indiana, the Attorney General of Indiana. And this is what the Spanish professor at Franklin College, this is what she said. He even posted the tweet with her stuff on it. You can see everything. She says, Charlie Kirk believed that empathy was a new concept. She is speaking about like a clip of Charlie Kirk speaking about how he doesn't believe in empathy. That shouldn't exist. So anyone who expresses condolences for him is being very disrespectful to his beliefs right now. She's being sarcastic, of course. Please keep him out of your thoughts as he begins to transition into worm food. Thank you. So she's obviously... Okay. This would go into celebrating, being objective, but for this comment, the Attorney General is putting heat on her to lose her job as a Spanish teacher. All right. And with Jimmy Kimmel, the reasoning or the thing that I'm seeing in a lot of these clips of what he said that went over the line is him hinting that it was a Republican who doing the killing. Like in that first 30 seconds where he says Republicans all week have been trying to make it seem like the person that killed or assassinated Kirk is anything other than one of them, right? So they're saying kind of the fact that he's hinting that it can be a Republican that did this. And just the comments are very insensitive to his family, and it's spreading misinformation because a lot of the things that have been reported about the person that assassinated Charlie Kirk are saying that he had left-leaning beliefs. So they're saying you did misinformation, and they're saying that it's completely kind of insensitive to the family. while I'm on the topic of what they're saying for what the reason is for shelving it, here is the announcement from Nexstar, the media group that owns ABC and a lot of the stations that are, or a lot of the stations that would be airing Jimmy Kimmel's late night show every day, right? Or I don't even know if it's every day because, again, I don't watch late night television. So let's read this. And this is from September 17th, so Wednesday. Nexstar Media Group Incorporated today announced that the company's owned and partner television stations affiliated with ABC Television Network will preempt Jimmy Kimmel Live, which basically means cancel until further notice, for the foreseeable future, beginning with tonight's show. So they didn't show the show. Nexstar strongly objects to recent comments made by Mr. Kimmel concerning the killing of Charlie Kirk and replaced the show with other programming in its ABC affiliated marketing. We already read here they're replacing it with a Charlie Kirk tribute. So on Wednesday they were saying other programming. We now know that they're tonight replacing it with a Charlie Kirk tribute. Okay? Nexstar, yeah. Nexstar strongly objects to recent comments made by Mr. Kimmel concerning and replace. Okay. Mr. Kimmel's comments about the death of Mr. Kirk are offensive and insensitive at a critical time in our national political discourse, and we do not believe that they reflect the spectrum of opinions, views, or values that the local communities in which we are located, said Andrew Alford, president of Nexstar's broadcasting division. Continuing to give Mr. Kimmel a broadcast platform in the communities we serve is simply not in the public interest at the current time, and we have made the difficult decision to preempt his show in an effort to let cooler heads prevail as we move toward the resumption of respectful, constructive dialogue. So, a lot of questions with this, a lot of backlash that has come with this. I'm just kind of asking myself, are you allowed to talk about the wide range of Kirk's comments, from the good and the bad, however you feel, and be able to not get your job fired? In the eyes of Republicans and Charlie Kirk fans, is there a difference between celebrating his death and saying that you are particularly sad over it due to the disagreement with his stance and feelings on things, including gun safety laws, the Second Amendment, police violence, the black community, and other people of color? Are you allowed to negatively or analyze these things in a way that may seem like you disagree with Kirk, while also not disrespecting his family, his loved ones, and the fact that he was assassinated live in public during a college campus debate style event? You know what I'm saying? To me, it seems like any negative comments about Kirk can get you real consequences of getting fired. And this is something you would think all Republicans would not be okay with, something that they would be curious about, because for most of my life, the Republicans have been the biggest people on free speech and saying that the left is restricting free speech, the cancel culture, all the things where, CEOs being fired for saying things, and the right saying that the left is too soft and they get mad over everything. Like the right in my lifetime, Republicans, and now basically just Trump and MAGA, have been the biggest fighters of free speech. But now they are switching the roles. They are taking speech, because even hate speech, if you look at it, is protected by the First Amendment. They're taking speech and giving people very real world consequences, saying where they work, saying their information. We have attorney generals. We have attorney generals of states and attorney generals of the country. Pam Bondi, the attorney general, said she was going to come out and she was going to put in place negative consequences for people that say negative things about Charlie Kirk. This is the attorney general of the entire United States. We already looked at what Todd Rokita said in here, and he put this woman's, I think this is her blue sky, like you see her whole name here, like he just put it out, and what a lot of Republicans are saying, I saw something with Donald Trump's son saying, this is not restricting or taking away free speech, or this is not cancel culture. This is being held accountable for your words, which is what Democrats always said when they were doing the other thing. So now the Republicans are switching the role. They're saying they're doing about a bunch of whataboutisms. What about the things that Democrats were doing? This isn't cancel culture. This is holding yourself accountable for the words that you say. Okay, so that's the conversation that they're saying right now. And I will say, me personally, I'm going to be honest. This is for a lot of reasons, but I am not particularly struggling emotionally with the death of Kirk, but I don't think anyone deserves to be assassinated for really just saying their feelings and having debates in live public forums. I don't think anyone should be assassinated for that. And as I was writing this and thinking about it, I can't really think of too many reasons why you would want to celebrate anyone being assassinated in public unless these are like real war, crime, evil people, like people that I think we all know and can think of names of, like special people bookmarked in the world for being evil, right? Like, I don't think anyone should just be assassinated, and it definitely shouldn't be celebrated. Like, we are happy this person was assassinated and killed. There are, bookmark people in life where you should celebrate them being assassinated and look forward to them being assassinated, okay? Like, that's a common thing. You should not be celebrating that. You should not be happy about it. I do agree with that. But you should also be able to criticize the man and say why some of his comments may have been incendiary and hurtful and over the top and extreme and negative to a lot of people. That should be allowed to be said out loud. And I don't think that's being, I don't even think that's being insensitive to his family. But B, even if it was, this is America, the country of free speech, even where hate speech is in some ways protected. And it brings up a theme that if you watch almost, I know I'm not as consistent as I should be putting out episodes, but if you watch almost any episode of my show, GS Studios on YouTube, almost consistently I put out, okay, I just said I didn't consistently put out videos, but GS Studios on YouTube, my YouTube channel, and Josh Allen on Pat McAfee, I gotta go look at that. If you look at my YouTube channel, most of the videos that I've been talking about since Trump became president is the conversations that he is having restricting free speech. With colleges, mainly with colleges, with organizations, and now with media companies, one of the themes of the second Trump administration has been restricting free speech. And he is doing it now over the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And it is interesting to see. And if you're 6 months in and you're watching everything, you can see this playing out and growing and being put into more spaces and walks of life. The restriction on free speech conversation isn't new. It's new in the area of late night television and random people online saying stuff and losing their jobs. But he's been doing this. And this is what he's doing now. And you can only assume that in 6 months, he's going to be continuing to restrict free speech in some way, and you're going to continue to have the people that agree with Trump that are in, and not even agree, in what I like to call the MAGA cult, who will say to you, this is not restricting free speech, it is blah, blah, blah. Whether it's colleges with anti-Semitism, which is, whether it's this, television markets where it's being insensitive and it's telling what they're calling misinformation when it's just wrapped up in jokes, there, and whether it's not being restriction on free speech but holding you accountable to your words, these are the things they're saying now. It'll be something else in 6 months with a mix of these things. I don't expect it to get better, and I do expect to see more headlines related around different topics where we see people's free speech getting restricted. Okay. And this is a sad and curious situation around free speech, and I don't think it's going to get any better, at least not in the next 6 months or so. I think we're just going to get more stories and headlines of this. Now, the next thing with this with the Charlie Kirk assassination that interests me, that I think a lot of people should talk about, or a lot of people should be focused on, is the who killed Charlie Kirk. And we know who did it. We know who we're being told, and how that happened, how he was able to do it. That's the conversation that's most interesting to me. That's the conversation that I think I will start to look at more with this as I film more videos. So if you want to just have conversations about who's able to talk about Charlie Kirk, that's one thing. But I think we should look into who killed Charlie Kirk and how they were killed, and that's something that I plan on doing. So definitely subscribe to GS Studios, GSTEWDIOS, this YouTube for that. And if you watched this full 18 minutes, thank you. I appreciate it. You could have watched anything in the world, and you watched Guaranteed News. Thank you for that, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. All right.